Hi, Mick McQuaid here. I'd like to install MongoDB on my Mac laptop running Yosemite. And I did this with a student a little while ago who was running El Capitan, and it worked the same way on her system. So the first thing that I'm going to do is find MongoDB. And if I just say MongoDB, the very first hit is going to be mongodb.org. And if I get onto mongodb.org, the very first thing that I'm going to see to do is to download. If I scroll down a little bit, I'm going to see it's configured to download already from my system. So I'm going to do that, and it's going to download a mongo.tgz file into my downloads folder because it's my default folder. So I'm going to switch to that folder, and my picture went away. And I don't know why. Let me try to get it back on here. It may be that the sensor is overheating because I've rehearsed this about 80 times. So if it goes away again, I'm just going to leave it off, and you'll just have to not be able to see my happy face. Okay, so I'm going to go to Mongo. Excuse me, I just want to go to Downloads right now, and then I want to say Open Mongo, and this will unzip, untar, GNU zip that file, and now I can switch to the MongoDB folder, and I'm just using autocomplete in the shell. And by the way, I'm using the Mac OS X terminal, so let's take a look at the, if you're new to Mac OS X, you can go in the Finder in Applications. Near the bottom of the display you'll find Utilities, and one of the utilities that you'll find will be the terminal, and I've configured the terminal to have different colors from the default. That's really the only thing. Oh, and I'm also using other programs in it, but anyway, not a big deal. So now that I'm in this MongoDB folder, I see that the programs themselves are in a subfolder called bin, so I'm changing. So I've basically changed from so that's the full change of directories that I've made. And in here I see all the MongoDB programs. I'm going to place them into user local bin. That's where I put programs that I download. And if I didn't already have user local bin, I would have to do something like this. In fact, let me do the complete command. I have to do something like this, except without the hash mark in front. But I already have that, so all I'm going to do is say cp-p mongo star user local bin. Now they're there. Now I'm going to go there and just verify that they're there. And you should do the same thing. And you can see that they all were created today, and that I own them. MJMICS owns them. And I have all these permissions over here on them. So these are the correct permissions. Your permissions should look like this. If they don't, if you have a lot more hyphens in here and lack of W's and RXWs on the left-hand side, then there's a problem. I'm going to back up to the next higher directory. I'm going to say ls space -l, and I look at bin and I see that that's fine. If there were a problem there, I would have to change. I could either change the ownership, sudo chown mjmics. Oh, there goes my picture again. And this time I'm just going to leave it. It's too annoying. Bin. So this changes the ownership of the bin directory to my name. I'm not going to actually execute that command. You have to do that if like root owns the bin folder. And the same thing is true up here with these. If you had been in that folder and these were owned by root, you would want to change them to your name. And then I'm going to back up another layer and do the same thing again, ls space -l. And if local were not owned by me, I would do sudo, I would do that. And then I'm going to back up yet again, and now I'm at the root, and it actually doesn't matter who owns, there I am. It doesn't matter if root owns user, as a matter of fact, because all of these will be read, write, W, and these will all be read, write, execute, and this is read, execute, and read, execute. If you have this set of permissions on the user folder, you're fine. Now, MongoDB wants me to put its default data directory in, so I'm going to say sudo make dir-p data db. I have to give my Mac password, and that worked. However, there is going to be a problem here, which if I take a look at data, I see that root owns it, and I want to own it so that I can run MongoDB myself. So I'm going to say sudo chown mjmics data, and now that looks good. But if I go to the data directory and do the same thing there, I find that root still owns that. So I'm going to change that. Oops, I didn't change from data to DB. Okay. And now I own that. So now I'm all fine. And now I can start MongoDB. And MongoDB, for the most part, consists of two programs. You're going to have Mongo D, the Mongo daemon, running. And I'm going to switch to my other terminal window here and start Mongo D. Now, it's started and it's listening. See, it says init and listen over here. It's listening for connections. If it did not start, that would mean that I did not have some permission someplace, or I had failed to put something in. So you would go back over this whole process that we've just done. Now the other program, the actual Mongo program, is called Mongo. And once you've done this, once you press Mongo, you may have noticed that an additional line appeared in this display that says one connection now open. You don't really need to look at this. I'm just telling you that Mongo D is listening for Mongo. And once Mongo started, Mongo D gave an indication that it noticed it. And it's going to continue to do that. As you do things in Mongo, it's going to continue to do that. So now at this point, I'm just going to get out of this. I'm just going to press Control-C here. And now it says that that connection is gone, was ended. And then I'm going to press Control-C here, and now that's gone. And then I'm going to go back to this MongoDB thing. And if I scroll down, I'm going to find all these quick start guides, classes, and so on. Forget about the Cloud Manager. We don't need that in this class. All right, good luck. See you next time.